Welcome everyone. Today we're having as a guide for Tower Fantasy. As you can see behind me, I do still have a lot of the beacons. And what I'm going to show you is, let me show you guys over here of the loots. Actually, I can't show you guys over here. So let me show you guys over here of the loots I have from the beacons. So notice here I have a lot of beacons, and some of those beacons collected can be giving me a lot of loots. So what I'm going to do in this video is, I want to show you different ways to get additional items from those beacons. This can almost double your loot. So I do have a video over here of showing you guys as well. There's a few steps of this process. So make sure you check the timestamps and also understand the process. Yes, you can be sending out the beacons and you can be collecting beacons from other players, but you can also double the loot that you get from other players by collecting their beacon and also by adding them as a friend. So I've been trying to test this out, and I've been trying to have mixed successes and getting a lot of different loots using this beacon method. So notice over here, I've gotten a golden weapon upgrade, which is a really rare one, this one, and I was able to get this one from looting from other players. And by adding those players as a friend, they can also get those bonus loots as well. Now before we dive into the video, I do want to come over to this breakup post by Dickers, and what he is suggesting is a very good method which I'll be using in this guide as well. So he is saying that we can be adding the person who we found the beacon as a friend, and this way both of us will get the full reward. So not only the person who is collecting the beacon, but also the person who is hunting down the beacons. So you might be wondering, what is hunting down the beacons? I'll explain everything very soon. You can be hunting down other players' beacons using a beacon collector, and if you add them as a friend, both of you get pretty much double the reward. So this is really good. And if you guys haven't seen this post, I definitely recommend this. And basically here a lot of people were so surprised. I was really surprised as well, because we can be contacting the person to try to get more bonus loot for both of us. And you can see on my video replay, this is what I'm trying to do as well. So I've been sending to players that I have found the beacons. I say, hi, I found your beacons, please add me so we can get bonus loots this way. Because if I get his beacon, he won't get additional loots, and I'll get additional loots. But if he add me, both of us will get additional loots. And I've been trying to test this method out, but unfortunately the players who I found didn't really contact me in time. But I was still able to get bonus loots myself. But I want to share this video so all of us can get bonus loots. What we'll do now is, we take the beacon method one step at a time. So this way you don't get confused, and I'll go through everything with you guys. Now, at the start of the beacon collection and getting the beacons, what's going to happen is, you can spend over here the 30 vitality to buy a beacon, and this can be randomly between the blue tier, the purple tier, and also the golden tier. I did still have a lot of beacons saved up from previously, because I was getting my stamina from previous sections, and I had about over 20 or 30 beacons saved up. You can have a maximum of 30 beacons on your inventory, and those beacons will be, it's usable, and you can collect additional experience. You can collect experience when you deploy them. So you get experience, you get your dust, you get your crystals. So you also get the crystals you get from spending your vitality, because those beacons are worth 30 vitality. Now, while you are actually deploying those beacons, you do have a chance of getting one of the beacon collectors. So if we come over to the replay over here, this is my replay video, you can see that I have gotten a purple beacon collector. And this beacon collector will allow you to find players who also deployed a purple beacon. And using the collector, you can get additional loot for finding another player's beacon, but they will get less loot. So this is something we'll talk about. Now, what I tested and what I realized is, as you deploy the beacons, you will be able to have a random chance of getting a beacon collector. So if I deploy a purple beacon, I have a chance of a random purple beacon collector. And similarly for the blue beacon and also for the golden beacons. You do get a ton of more rewards for getting a golden beacon. I'll show you guys the rewards over here. It's a little hard to get to the mail. So I believe, yeah, this is from collecting a golden beacon. And you can see I actually got a 3-star loot. And those loots by themselves are very good. But on top of that, so if I was able to get a golden beacon, I get this much loot, right? But if I also find a beacon collector that is golden, I get additional loot from finding another player's golden beacon. And if I add him as a friend, both of us will get bonus loots. So this is the example of me getting the purple beacon. Where did it go? So many ones I want to show you guys. So this is the example of me collecting a Japanese player's purple beacon, and I was able to get bonus loot. If he added me as a friend, I believe he will also get those bonus loots. So it's quite important to do this correctly. Now, in order to give you guys a full guide for this method, so what's going to happen is, as you deploy the color of the beacons, you have a random chance of getting a beacon collector. The chance is random. So the reason I make this video is if we all start looking to beacons, because very soon guys, because currently my level is level 62, right? I'm waiting for the level cap to unlock to get to 63. Very soon, once we get to level 65, the upgrade for the weapons will count a lot, and you're gonna need a lot of those materials. So it's quite important for us to collect as many of those using different methods. Now, of course, you can still use the basic method that we go hunt for better beacons in the interstellar galaxy. We look interstellar gate, we look for the 3-star of the gates, and you can still get those from the dimensions. And if you do look at highest dimensions, you get at least one of the golden loot. But this, I think the beacon method, if done correctly and with enough players, you will get more loots using the beacon method. So coming back over here, the whole beacon method also relies on as many players in the server doing this, because as you deploy a beacon, if there's also another purple beacon that is available, and you'll get a chance of getting a beacon collector. If no one's deploying a lot of beacons, so you have less chance of getting beacon collectors and doubling up your loots. So, making this video helps us to deploy more beacons. And at the end of the video, I'll show you guys, I have deployed some beacons for you guys. So if you guys are in my server, you can see I have deployed some golden ones, I have deployed some blue ones. I'll deploy more purple ones as well. And there's a strategy to do this to get the most collectors to double up your loots. Now coming back to our guide, I do want to go back to a little bit to just show you guys how to use the beacon collector and how to find other players' beacons, because you have to find them first before you add them and collect it, right? So notice that once you get to the beacon collector, there is a few usage. You can only use the beacon collector once you find another player's beacon. You can use the track down function if you're not within the zone, and you can contact the player by saying, hey, like, I found your beacon, please add me so we get bonus loots together. So you can contact the player by messaging them. So there's a feature over here that's inbuilt in the system. So what you do is, if you click down track down and you go OK, notice I'm currently over here and the beacon is located over here. Once you travel to the zone, you'll gain additional information on finding another player's beacon. So what we'll do is, I'll fast forward a little bit. I'll show you guys over here. So now notice that once I going back to the menu of the beacon collector, you can see now I've been given 3 images of the location of the beacon. So if we go a little bit, and if you click on the pictures, you can see the location of the beacon. In order to find someone else's beacon, look at the surroundings. Is it on a mountain? Is there anything close by? Notice this beacon's position, we can see an Omnium Tower, and there is some of the crystals next to it. So I'm looking for a spot with 2 crystals next to it. So, and of course, I can contact the players like, hey, if we add each other, we can get bonus loots. So I'll try to find the beacon first. I'm still looking. Took me a while to find it. So I was like, oh, it's not over there. And sometimes it takes a while. I keep getting sidetracked as well. So I finally found it. The player was very creative. What he did was he hid the beacon under the Stargate. Notice the beacon will give a purple glow, right? And he was actually hiding his beacon under the Stargate. So when I go look for it, I couldn't find it. But eventually I found it. So after finding it, what I try to do is I'll try to contact the player and ask him to add me. And if he does add me, we can both get more loots. Now, if he doesn't add me and, if I just collect it, he will get less loots. And this is quite important. His beacon is hidden over here. So I'll show you guys. So over here, you can see some of the messages I sent to the players I found the beacon. It's like, hi, I found your beacon. Make sure you add me before I collect your beacon so we can both get more loots. Notice that if I just collect the beacon now, I will get more loots and they will get less loots. And in the future, if this works, someone will suffer, right? But if you add them, they will also get bonus loots. And what you get is, you get your own beacon, you also get the bonus loots from the collector. So this is how you get double loots for both of you. And make sure we add each other before we collect someone else's beacon. So if you guys do find my beacon over here, those are on the towers, so you have to climb a bit. But if you find those beacons, make sure you add me. I'll add you as well. And this way I get bonus loots and you get bonus loots. And over here, just to show you guys, you can see the expiry of your collector beacon. So notice here, I'm looking at the blue beacon that is only having 6 hours to expire. and make sure the players add you back before this expires, otherwise you won't get bonus loots, right? So if you're counting down the beacons with your collector, once you find the beacon, make sure you add the player, try to give them bonus loots, because if they find your beacon, they can give you bonus loots as well using this method. Make sure you check the time before expiry so you don't lose any bonus loots. And finally, if they add you and once you can collect the beacon, what's going to happen is I'll just show you guys over here. This is me collecting one of the blue beacons. So even the blue beacons do give some decent reward, and you also get your achievements done. So there's a double bonus over there. So the achievements and also the rewards will be sent to you in a bit. So notice here, it's not a lot of rewards, but this is some bonus reward just from blue beacon. And you can see in the game, some of the higher bonus beacons will come from the golden ones and also the purple ones. It's so hard to go to the mail, to be honest. So I keep going back. So you can see, yeah, you can see by collecting some players' purple beacons or even golden beacons, we can get more bonus loots. Now before we finish, the reason I make this video is to show you guys another method. So notice here I have a lot of golden beacons, purple ones and blue beacons stacked up. I'm trying to get as much weapon materials as I can because I want to plan for my future upgrades. I do not have enough because I have a lot of weapons to upgrade. If you see my previous video, I'm also upgrading another bow. So I have 4 weapons to upgrade. And if that is the case, I need a lot of materials, right? So coming back to my backpack. Now the first thing before you deploy the beacon is to know that you'll gain instantly experience equal to your current level scaling. So the experience I get for deploying a beacon, it's the same amount of experience I get from getting one of the Stargate. And this will be about 70,000, 68,000 experience. Now, if you're level capped at the moment like me, you don't want to waste the beacons. So you only use beacons when you're not level capped. After that, you want to try to deploy 1 beacon of each kind, and your goal is to try to roll into a beacon collector. So once you deploy a beacon, there will be a chance over here that this shows up over here as a beacon collector. This will come up with a writing to show that you have gotten a beacon collector. And once you've gotten the beacon collector, you can hunt down someone else's beacon, add them for bonus loots for them, and also get people to add you for bonus loots. Now, one of the reasons I say that we deploy 1 beacon of each type is that at the same given type, if there is no purple or no blue beacons or no golden beacon that is deployed in your server, and you deploy your own beacon, then you can't get a beacon collector, so you won't get the bonus loots. So the method and also the guide video, the purpose is if all of us are deploying beacons and sharing and adding each other for bonus loots. Each time you deploy a beacon, you have a higher chance of getting a beacon collector and finding someone else's beacon, giving them double loots and give yourself double loots. So this works wonderfully when more people start to do this. So if you share the video, share this guide, we can get more loots together. And as I always do, I try to make sure I don't overcap it with experience. What I do for you guys is I will always be deploying 1 beacon or 2 beacon of each kind. I'll deploy 2 blue ones, maybe 2 purple ones, and 1 golden ones. So this way, if you're on my server or any other servers, no, I don't think any other servers does work, but if you're on my server, when you deploy your beacons, you have a chance of finding my beacon. Make sure you add me before you loot me though. So make sure you add me before you loot the beacons, so we both get double loots. And finally, if you have deployed a beacon and you're not getting the beacon collector, so if you have been deploying beacons and you're not getting the beacon collector, you should not be deploying more beacons of the same kind, because it is likely in your server no one has deployed those beacons yet. So it's like a test run. You want to see how many people have been deploying beacons, and most of the chances people will be deploying blue beacons over the purple ones. It's more rare to get the golden beacons, but with more players doing this method, the more rewards we get, and because there will be more resources around, and we'll be adding each other and sharing those resources as well. So previously I thought someone else would lose out, but seeing this particular guide and this method I'm trying to test, it seems like both players will get full loots and additional loots from the beacon collector this way. Now, if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel and for more content related to Tower of Fantasy. I'll be looking into more free-to-play content, and I've tried to look into minimum spending or no spending method to clear the game and also achieve the highest amount of free currencies and also free-to-play, characters and also weapons in the game.